Today we're going to do a brisket, and this is for St. Patrick's Day. And we decided not to go with corned beef. We wanted to do something a little bit different. But on that note of doing something a little bit different, my wife had what we're going to see. We're going to see how this comes out because we've never tried it. But I think it's a stellar idea. We're going to layer this brisket with some bacon as we smoke it. And this is going to be a pellet smoker brisket. And we're going to go for 12 hours because I think when doing brisket in the past, the few that I've done, the one thing that I've learned is that regardless of the weight of the brisket, the meat itself seems to need at least 12 hours on our smoker at least, and I'm assuming that all smokers are that way. I'm assuming it has something to do with the meat itself. So yeah, we're gonna go for a 12-hour smoke on mesquite, and right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up the dry brine first. Tonight we're gonna put it in, and we're going to let it go overnight and kind of like do it that way. Because it's going to be a 12-hour cook and tomorrow is going to be St. Patrick's Day, we're going to try and make it as easy as possible on ourselves. So yeah, so I guess we'll get started. The first thing that we want to do is kind of get a good layer of this mustard on here. And that mustard is going to help our other spices stick. So we'll just kind of go with that. Kind of begin there. And I am going to get a bit dirty here. And mustard, I think, is definitely going to go along with that St. Patrick's Day flavor. Get a good. Okay. I'm gonna close that, wash my hands real quick. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a rub put together for our brisket. I'm gonna go with kosher salt, as has been recommended to me for sure. Is if we go with kosher salt rather than something more like a table salt, this will provide the right amount of salt without being too salty. I'm just going to pour a good amount in there initially. Try and balance this stuff out. The other thing is, this is the best pepper grinder we have, but we're going to need a lot of pepper. I think this is very important to brisket in the end. Some paprika. Okay. Okay. And then I always love a good amount of onion powder and garlic powder as well. I think this is going to become a good enough amount. I'm not giving proportions to this, but I am kind of eyeballing it just to what feels right for me. I think everyone has enough intelligence to kind of do their own spice rub the way they want. But this is my take right now. And then just kind of put in a little bit of this here. And then I'm just going to mix this with my hand. I'm going to get kind of what I've ended up with right here. May actually do a little bit more. Okay. Sprinkle this on for now. Okay. I think it's gonna be messy for sure. Okay. And this is the biggest container that we have that's gonna fit the brisket. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna use all the spices that I have here though. Cool. Okay. That'll be good. That was ideally, I mean, a lot of people have said that you can dry brine it overnight. We're not going to do that. I think a few hours is going to be good.
Yeah.
So
we're going to put it on about 8 o'clock tonight or so.
Right. Yeah. So this is just going to go in the fridge. And then we're going to prepare the smoker after this. So we're back, and it's a few hours after the initial setting this into the fridge and the initial brine. And I want you to take a look at this because I think it looks perfecto before we do anything.
Yep, looks like it's been dry brine.
Yeah.
For sure. Yep.
I think it's really good we put it in the fridge too.
Yeah. It dry, I mean, if you don't wrap it, it gets a chance to like
really kind of suck it all in. Yep. Okay, so join me. We're going to go outside. We're going to go to the smoker. Okay. All right. I'll just get another beautiful shot of that. I just want to show that. Okay. So, right now.
On you? Oh, my bad.
It's okay.
Okay.
We got the smoker going to 164. The lowest setting on the app is 180. And that's what I'm going to keep it at for the entire night. I am going to put the temperature gauge in there. We're going to take a look at the temperatures all night. Sometimes in the past, the internal temperatures will raise. By the end, we don't want it to be...
the internal temperatures will like raise out of control sometimes on this particular pit boss because you can see it's not a big chamber.
Right.
It's kind of small, right? And
Right.
So our biggest alarm bells when we cook on this thing is sometimes the temperature goes up too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'll be watching that all night, but basically we're just going to put it in right now, and because we can't really do much about it until morning, we're just going to leave it at 180 all night.
Yep.
And I know that it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I might come in the early morning and flip it, and then again, I mean, just for overall view,
but as long as it's so low, in the morning flipping it will be fine.
Yeah. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to keep it wrapped until we need it the next day.
Yeah.
But this is...
Once it arrives at the temperature and the doneness we want.
Yeah. And we're going to taste corners of this. We're going to in the morning, I think we're both going to take like a couple bites of this. And we're going to say, is this, delicious or not? And it's usually more than stunning. Also, one thing I just want you to show. Got the... pellets full.
That always smells so good.
Straight to the rack. And these are mesquite smoke pellets. And honestly, we should come back to this and show how little actually gets used at the 12-hour mark.
Yeah.
Because these things are so efficient, it's crazy. And I won't even change anything. I won't put any more pellets in. This is just what we're going to leave it as. And we'll show you where the pellets are at after the entire smoking process. The cut of brisket that we went with is called the flat, and it has a layer of fat on it, but it's kind of thin.
This particular butcher. Is it butcher or bitcher? I don't know. It's butcher. This particular butcher did a good job of taking a lot of the fat cap off, but we need fat because it's a flat. So
yeah.
This is where we came up with the idea to like put some bacon on it.
So the way that we're going to try and do that is with some toothpicks. We're just going to throw these guys in, and we're kind of see what happens. This is the bacon that we have left over. We're just going to do the best that we can with what we have. I think most of our recipes are going to be about that. I think I'm going to lay the bacon.
Wow, good job.
I think I'm going to lay the bacon first, and then go with the toothpicks so that I can kind of evenly space everything.
Well done, Bob.
Well, it kind of fits, doesn't it? I think this is actually fitting quite perfect.
Quite nicely.
Might even have some extra laying off, but
we can cut some if you want. Cut some in a smaller piece.
Do you want to? Let's go. No. Okay.
That's way enough.
So that's more than enough, you think?
Maybe like right here. Is there a spot?
We can rip in half, yeah. Kind of do that.
Good job. And then that little one right there.
And then we still have.
Look at that beautifulness.
We still have 5 pieces of bacon for breakfast. So.
Okay, so what Chris is gonna do, he's gonna attach both ends of this bacon to the side of the flat.
Eventually, I think this side is going to be here. Okay.
I'm aware that many of you are going to think the juices are going to flow out. The problem is, we're wondering if there's any juices because there's not a lot of fat cap. So, just hang. Stay tuned. Like and subscribe. Comment. Give us the business. It's all good with us.
For sure. I'm not predicting.
Criticisms are welcome.
Amen. Yeah. The other thing is, I'm personally not expecting to be like, oh my god, this is so dry by the end. That never happens. I think everything is recuperated.
Yeah.
Everything gets recuperated.
Recuperated?
Yep.
You mean?
The juices kind of come together. I think a big part of keeping the juices in is not serving it immediately. A big part of the keeping the juices in is the resting.
Yeah.
So putting these pricks in at the beginning.
And it's St. Patrick's Day, and we want to celebrate the fictional Saint Patrick. He's not fictional to us. He's lore.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. All right. I think that looks good. Yep. We've already got the smoker coming up to temp outside, and
so we're gonna cut.
Go ahead. No, go ahead and just follow me out.
Okay.
Okay. So, we're using a Pit Boss. I think it's every bit as good as a Traeger, and that's probably fighting words for a lot of people. But this has always made the most beautiful meat possible. There is an app that goes along with this, and that's how I'm going to be monitoring it. And we're just going to let this go for about 12 hours at least. Again, this is going to be a 12-hour cook. I might flip at some point, but we'll see how that goes. I am going to keep a temperature gauge in the meat so that I can watch it all night, but I'm basically just going to keep it regardless at the lowest temperature setting that this Pit Boss has.
And why is that?
Why? Because this is what's worked in the past. Like, I think.
And then we have a small
Yeah.
box, and it doesn't work like a normal smoker. It can get really hot really fast. So we're adjusting it to the lowest possible.
Just
setting.
the lowest possible. Sometimes I can actually turn this knob and get it a little bit lower, but usually on the app, as far as the lowest setting I can get is 180. And I think just setting it is basically probably going to be a set it and forget it kind of thing. Putting it at 180 in there for 12 hours, it's going to come out amazing.
Okay, well, let's turn it to 180.
Well, it's coming up. Yeah.
It's coming up to 180.
Yeah. So right now, that's what it's doing. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the app right now, it's already set to 180.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
And so we're just going to put it in there, and we'll come back later and see what happens. And put it right there in the middle, just like so. And then we're just going to close up and leave it up to the pit. This is just, I think, where we're going to take it off. I don't think it could look any more perfect than that. That, to me, looks like the best smoke ever. So I'm going to go grab what I need to take this inside and wrap it in tinfoil. And, yeah, we'll go from there. But this is honestly turned out perfect. So I'm just going to grab what I need to pick it up and take it inside. And, yeah. All right, so this is just what I showed you, the shot of the brisket earlier. I think it looks incredibly perfect. I'll just show you again here. I don't think it could look better than that. That came out absolutely amazing.
Beautiful.
So I'm just going to prepare the pan, the foil. I'm going to probably just take the sticks out before I wrap it, obviously, but I'm going to try and wrap the bacon in there while I rest it. But just to recap, in terms of what I did with this overnight, I literally did basically nothing. I left it at the lowest setting of 180, and it sat around 170, 180 most of the night. And then to bring it up to a finishing temperature, I brought up the temperature to 190. And that allowed the internal temp to come up to 200, which is exactly where you want it for like a finishing temp. And then now, this I honestly think is just as important as the cook itself, and that's the wrapping and the resting. I'm just gonna get a good wrap around this whole thing. And then I think what we're going to do is we're just going to put this probably in our oven for a while until we need it. I'm going to put one more wrap the other way around. So I'm just going to take this, and I think we'll get another shot of this before we're ready to serve, and we'll do like a cutting. But I couldn't be happier, and I think that this came out fantastic. You think? Okay, cool. Gosh, this is going to be amazing.
I can't wait.
I'm going to try and make sure we collect all the juices too.
Yes, it's going to go right in the gravy. What's his name?
Holy moly. Wow. Oh. Wow. Look at that. Yep.
Good job, honey.
Let's see here.
Oh look, it's juicy. The juices are running off.
That looks so good.
Yeah, I know. So it's this. We actually topped it with bacon. We just pulled the bacon off. I'll show you the shot with the bacon,